welcome back. This is Satan's Trilogy, Book 2, Chapter 4, and this will be reading 64. I am the author and the narrator. Sit back, relax, and let the story unfold. Satan and his manager, Dr. Mann, stood quietly and waited for the Phoenix to finish his speech. Then Dr. Mann pulled a document out of his coat pocket. He said something to Micah Wade. Immediately, Micah Wade grabbed the microphone from the Phoenix and moved it closer to Dr. Mann. Looking more astonished than previous matches, Micah Wade asked Dr. Mann to repeat himself. Confident and smiling, Dr. Mann held the document into the air and proclaimed, "The W.O.W. has agreed in this contract that this match is to be completed in the ring, and should either wrestler leave the ring and not return, they will forfeit the match and title." Coming forward from behind the Phoenix, a tall and very heavy man demanded to see the document. Dressed in a yellow suit, it was Big James. Once a wrestler himself, he now was the manager of the Phoenix. Grabbing the contract from the fist of Dr. Mann, he quickly appraised its worth. Looking violated, he proclaimed, "This is an insult. I don't know who you are and where you came from, but to hell with this contract. My man will send Satan back to hell, and then you can follow him." Big James was poking his index finger at the chest of Dr. Mann, making his point understood. Dr. Mann had shown great patience with Big James, but Big James had overstepped the boundaries that Dr. Mann felt comfortable with. And so he quickly grabbed Big James' finger with his left hand and pulled it into a very painful position. Big James went to his knees and started to scream, "You're breaking my finger!" He couldn't move, and his face was turning red in pain. Dr. Mann had complete control of him. The Phoenix started to move forward, but Satan stepped in front of him, and he spoke. "We all need to fight our own battles. Do you agree?" They stared at each other for a moment, and the Phoenix said, "All right, let's start this match. You are going to regret having ever entered this arena." The Phoenix nodded to Micah Wade and walked to his corner of the ring. Satan had looked at Big James on his knees and moved away without saying a word. Dr. Mann quickly followed him, and Big James slowly got off his knees and walked towards the Phoenix corner. Looking at the Phoenix, Big James said, "We should leave now. If we leave before the match starts, you remain champion. Let's leave and find out who this person is." Big James looked worried. Such a little man had never handled him in such an efficient way. Having felt defenseless, he sensed and feared greater trouble ahead. The Phoenix looked at Big James. Their partnership had lasted several years, and they had a strong bond between them. Smiling, the Phoenix said, "If I leave, I lose my fans. If I stay and fight, we will all find out how good this Satan challenger is. I don't want to run from any challenge, and especially this one." Big James reluctantly grinned, nodded, and said, "All right. Then attack fast and hard. Make this as fast as possible. It's obvious he is strong, but if he is young, he'll have endurance. End it quick and let's go home." Big James left the ring and took his seat on the floor behind the Phoenix corner. Now in the center of the ring was Micah Wade, and slightly behind him, the W.O.W. favorite referee, Mr. John. Raising the golden microphone to his mouth with great enthusiasm, Micah Wade announced the match. "Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored and pleased to announce tonight's title championship match between W.O.W. heavyweight champion, the Phoenix. Pausing for the applause, Michael Wade then announced the challenger. And the unknown challenger, Satan. The fans erupted in enthusiasm. Perhaps it was the magnificent entrance, but the fans seemed to love Satan too. Michael Wade waited a few moments and continued. The W.O.W. has declared this to be a title match, and the winner must remain in the ring. Should either contestant not complete the match, the opponent will be declared the winner. The noise continued at a steady pace, but the crowd was able to hear clearly Michael Wade's announcement. Michael Wade, slowly turning to see the entire stadium, finally announced, "The match will be refereed by Mr. John." The audience knew Mr. John. Any W.W. fan loved Mr. John, and they applauded with obvious approval. Michael Wade quickly left the ring, and Mr. John stepped into the center of the mat. Wearing a small head microphone, Mr. John addressed wrestlers. "I've been informed that you both understand the rules for this championship match, and that you both understand tonight's match must end by either a pin or one of you will win by default." Looking at both wrestlers standing at two corners of the ring, Mr. John gave his customary statement. "Good luck to the both of you." Mr. John quickly stepped back from the center of the ring and indicated to the officials on the side of the ring to begin the match. The bell rang. Both men quickly went to the center of the ring and grabbed the other's shoulders. Moving in a clockwise motion, they turned a full circle as Satan grabbed the Phoenix's right arm and moved behind him, placing the Phoenix into an arm lock. Satan pulled the Phoenix arm up, placing leverage on the arm and causing tremendous pain for the Phoenix. Quickly, Satan released the arm and whipped the Phoenix forward and into the ropes, where the Phoenix bounced off the ropes and back towards Satan. Grabbing the Phoenix's arms, Satan pulled him over himself as he fell to the mat and propelled the Phoenix upside down onto the mat. The Phoenix hit the mat with a loud thunder. Satan was immediately up and he grabbed the Phoenix right arm again, twisting it so that Phoenix rolled belly over to the mat and crying in pain. Mr. John was there, asking if the pain was too much. He was looking for a forfeit, but the Phoenix was stronger than to concede a match after just a few minutes. Controlling his arm, Satan pulled the Phoenix back to his feet and swung him up around until he went propelled into the ropes again, where he was bounced back to the center of the ring. Satan timed himself so that he raised his right foot, pushed it into the Phoenix's abdominal area, and stopping him immediately. The Phoenix was motionless. He was bent over, and an expression of surprise was on his face. The kick to his abdomen had dealt tremendous damage to the Phoenix. His eyes started to wander about the stadium. Perhaps he saw his entire career in a few seconds, and it had just ended. The Phoenix went to his knees, and then he went down to the mat. It all happened in slow motion in his mind, but the audience watched as the Phoenix quickly dropped to the mat in a matter of seconds. Something had hit the Phoenix so hard that he could not believe it, and the pain dealt to him was truly real. It was not showmanship for the audience. The Phoenix was injured, and he could not move. Satan walked a few steps to the Phoenix, now standing tall over him. Satan took his foot and placed it on the shoulder of the Phoenix, and with a little force rolled the Phoenix from his left side and onto his back. Mr. John was on the spot, ready to call out either contestant when necessary. Going to his knees, Mr. John saw that the phoenix was on his back and could not move. Counting out 3 seconds happened in an instant. Mr. John jumped up, waved his arms, and declared the match over. Satan had won by a pin. The phoenix lay on the mat, unable to move. Michael Wade entered the ring and announced that Simon Starr was needed immediately in the ring. There was no time delay. Simon Starr was entering the ring and quickly went to the phoenix lying on the mat. Within seconds, he pulled out his phone and called for assistance. A few seconds later, an ambulance entered the stadium. Taking the same path that Satan had entered, they placed the phoenix onto a cart and loaded him into the ambulance. It sped off to the closest hospital. The delay had only lasted a few minutes. Michael Wade walked to the center of the ring and made his announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, the phoenix is on the way to the closest hospital for an examination, and I know that we all wish him the best. Then Michael Wade turned as he spoke to all corners of the stadium, continued to speak. The World Organization of Wrestlers is pleased to announce the new World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion is tonight's challenger, Satan. The crowd rose to their feet and applauded Satan for having dominated over the Phoenix. The W.O.W. now had a new champion, one that had no history and was an unknown to the W.O.W. The only thing certain was that Satan was strong, had enough ability to wrestle with the best, and that he arrived with a flair for showmanship that rivaled the best. And that's the end of Chapter 4, Book 2. Hope you enjoyed it. I believe I'll stop there. So next time we'll begin with Chapter 5, and that will be reading 65, I believe. So until then, take care and be safe.